to another one of the Getting to Know a Star Wars Fan videos. The other one is another one of those that's based on the Sith Lord 229's reviews. I just decided to do my own follow-up one as well, so we'll start off with this. This time it's 7 questions instead of 10, and they're all completely different to my other Getting to Know a Star Wars Fan. So we'll start off. So, number 1, about how much do you think you've spent on your collection? I've got to say I'm definitely in the thousands for this, because like depending on the actual set you've got, because like the figures it's about £10 a figure, like in fact it's about £7 to £10 a figure. So, and I got quite a lot of figures there, and then you count like the Lego sets. I got the Millennium Falcon, that was £132, and Jabba's Palace is 120, so that kind of brings it up a bit. So I can't really put an exact number on there, but I'd say something about 4,500 or something, 4,500 to 5,000 pounds on my Star Wars collection. So that's just a rough guess, but that should be it. And question number 2 is about how many figures do you have? The amount I've counted, I have about 210 in total for an actual count I've made, but I have like bought a couple more since and everything. So it's my nearest guess is 210, because that's about the best I've got, and that's like just the way I've done it. So number 3, did you ever watch Star Wars before you decided to collect? The answer is yes. I watched Jedi, the VHS 1995 version, which is one of the best, as at this point it was Sebastian Shaw Ghost Anakin, and none of those CGI changes have been made. I think I did once though beforehand see some of Episode 4 New Hope, also in its 1995 version, at the point where in the version where Han shot first, as most people like to say. But yeah, it was in 2005 I watched Jedi, and then shortly after that I got this figure, which is the Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader, the very first figure I ever got. So yeah, kind of answers that. Number 4, about how many vehicles do you have? Can't count this actually, because if by just Hasbro figures I have about 7, as I'm not really that much of a vehicle collector for them. But if I count my Lego as well, customs and regular sets, it counts up to about, I think I count up to about 25 or something like that, because I've got so many to get. And I also got the model kit of the TIE Fighter, which is just behind the TIE Interceptor behind me. So yeah, I'm not really that much of a vehicle collector, but more of a figure collector and Lego set collector. Number 5, where do you do most of your Star Wars shopping? There's 2 main stores, and a third can be added in there at some point as well, that I do my Star Wars shopping at. The first one is Forbidden Planet. There's one up here in the northeast, and like about 2 years ago it was a really good store. Like there were loads of figures from like Vintage Collection and Saga Legends and all that, but like after a while it's just started deteriorating and going down, because now when I've gone in there quite recently, they've got like 2 rows of Star Wars figures on one shelf, and that is it, to be honest. It's just kind of going down. One of the other stores is Toys R Us, as that place, one of the big toy retail outlets. That's alright sometimes for Star Wars figures, but sometimes it's just lagging a bit, and it's just like ones everyone's got, and they're just all they've got really. And my final one is a specialist store, which is in the Granger Market, and it is called Fantastic Toys, and it sells all sorts of figures from the past as well, like including Power of the Force 2. There's a Bib Fortuna figure I got from there, which I've kept carded, along with a couple of others. And I like that little store as well, because it's all at their original retail prices as well, so it's not like massively shot up high in prices, because of it being older figures, so it'll be worth more. So yeah, so I find that a great store, because and the guy there gets deliveries every week, which just makes it much better. Is now I can just go in there at the end of another week and then just get some more brand new figures that he's got in there, because I just felt that's been quite good, because I didn't start collecting until 2005, so I was able to go and get figures from before that time and kind of catch up, really, as you'd say. And they're pretty much the three stores. The one other store I sometimes go to is Fenwick, or Phoenix as most people call it. That place, sometimes it's good in figures, but it's more for Lego sets that I go in there, because they've always got like big shelves of Lego sets in that store, and I'm just in there to get them, really. So that's really the main reason I go to Fenwick, because I believe it'll just toy department just goes down on selling of figures. Because I mean they got some decent amounts as well. I got like the Mission Series 2 packs. I managed to get some of them from there, and from Toys R Us as well. So that wasn't that bad. And I can also get them from Argos as well. But of course that's also an alright store for Star Wars figures. So moving on. Do you ever sit down and practice reviews before you do them? No, I just improvise as I go. That's pretty much how I can say it. I don't sit down and go, hey there guys, without the camera on, and just like, hey there guys, welcome to the Star Wars figure review. No, I just start off, improvise. Sometimes I make mistakes, I just start off again and just try and remember everything I said before. But that's really it, how I do that. So yeah. And finally, is it hard to pick a figure to review? Sometimes it is, because I kind of get the idea, will I review a figure or will I review a Lego set or a vehicle? But after a little while of thinking, I eventually do choose a figure. Like, sometimes look at the shelves and then look at ones that I have reviewed, and then I'll see ones that I haven't reviewed that I think would just be worth reviewing anyway. So there's ones like the Anakin from the Black series and Mara Jade, as they're more recent figures, and I believe like they'll be better to review, as more people can go and buy them. As really, if you live in area like figures like the Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader here, you'd need to go to have like specialist stores or something if you're going to be able to get them. Like the Bib Fortuna carded figure I've got there as well. You'd need to have a specialist store if you wanted to find that figure as well. To add to your collection, you need to like live somewhere where there is one. So that is my getting to know a Star Wars fan follow up, and I'll see you in my next review.